Today, I would like to present, our group 2 would like to present on the topic of distance learning for education system. We will emphasize on technology implementation to solve the problem that we faces in education system. Okay, so the outline of presentation today, I would like to first introduce you to our topic, and then the second we will tell you about the current situation on science education on both countries. Third is on the finding, fourth is on research and on both countries, and fourth is on research on both countries, fifth is on proposal, and sixth is on conclusion. So the first topic of our introduction, like one thing that our team members share in common is that we have a question on that we think that's a problem in our science program in high school, but nonetheless we have no clue yet at first what are the problems. So to be able to tackle this wicked problem, we develop informed methods through all the classes, which I would like to share with you today. The first one, we try to understand the real problem from the real situation by visiting the place, asking the people, the experts who have been in the area, and the students also. Second, we discuss among us. We know that Japan and Thailand, we share great commonalities as well as differences. Third, we apply our model by experimenting in real situation in classroom in Thailand, GATI2 school, and in Oshonomizu senior high school in Japan. And fourth is on, we try to collect the result and feedback to improve ourselves. And our team consists of Koji, the leader, and Tadesu, which is absent today, and me, and Adikun, and Grit. We have 5 members in total in our group, in which we work together among the team like a lot. Okay. So now let's look into before we can understand the problem and how to solve the problem in the future, we must first understand the current situation of science education in both countries. So in the current situation, I would like to present about the basic data first, and then more into the education system of high school in Thailand. So basic information, Thailand has a prop of 68 million, and we are leading in manufacturing, agriculture, and tourism in Thailand, throughout the world, which comprise a big certain percentage of GDP of our country. And so in high school Thailand, briefly, students attend grade 1 to 9, and then have a choices or whether they want to enroll in general education, which are grade 10 to 12 on mathematics, science, or in arts. Otherwise, they can choose to be enrolled in a vocational school, which then later on they can choose whether they want to enroll in university, come back to general education, or whether they want to enroll in a high vocational school. So in general education, from first grade to 12, and in 10 to 12, they can select whether they want to enroll in class and mathematics or language and mathematics and some other courses. And vocational school, by vocational school, students will learn deeply on the subject that they pursue, which can be like handcraft, technician, commercial, business administration, and so on. So one thing that we notice about Thailand system is that students are more encouraged and willing to enroll in the university rather than vocational school, and this is one of our findings. And next, Koji will present about basic information.
Okay, I read this Japanese basic data. First, the population of Japan is about 12 million and 126 million, which is data of the November in 2016, and the area is about 300 and south, yes, 8,000 square kilometers. 70% of the area is mountain and forest, so Japan has rich nature. And the Prime Minister is Shinzo Abe. Japan introduced democratic government system. And population to each generation, so the population over 65 is about 27%, and population of age from 50 to 64 is about 60%, and the rest of the age is about 13%. So from these results, Japan is facing to serious aging society, and about 1/3 of entire population concentrate on Tokyo and Yokohama area. So this is a school uniform of Japanese high school. So most school introduce school uniform in Japan, but nowadays students are allowed to wear their casual uniform to their school. So Japanese high school, the total is 3 years. Starting from April, the ratio of students advancing to university is 51.5%, and but the students who enter university directly is 54.1%. Some students study extra years to enter university. So, but this type of students go to the university directly. Yeah. Mainly, teachers use blackboards and chalks, and the students listen to them. They conduct experiments, but the number is not so much. So the many students, especially girls, tend to give up science because they can't follow their lecture level. Okay, next will present. Tom will present.
So after we see into Thailand and Japan, then we look into more the community and differences in science education. Okay, so to summarize the community and differences in Thailand, let's look to the community first. First is that the university entrance examination are very similar on the subjects and difficulty level. Of course, the language examination is Japan and Thai is different. And second is that both technology implementation, we both having a recorded teacher lecture for students watch later on. For example, the cram school in Thailand on demand and Japan Toshin High School use the same technology. Third is on the LMS learning management system and other technology. In Thailand we have Microsoft, and then Japan has their own LMS different that used differently in different places. The differences is basically the mainly is on infrastructure in Japan. Japan has access to the internet throughout the country, in which Thailand mainly have a well signal internet connection in Bangkok, but then in other provinces it's not that good enough. Both countries face a difficulty in that in high school level students do not have much lab and practical activity which they can do hand-on. And third is that we notice that the different when the students study in group are very differences. For example, in Thailand we tend to the interaction among students are more lively than when we went to the Oceanomizu High School. So we would like to present on the research that we have done on more deeply into the issues, background and evaluation in Thailand. Basically, Thailand has a literacy rate of 93.5%, which is considered to be well enough. But however, there's a big gap between top tier university and there's a big gap between the entrance admission rate to a top tier university from big city like Bangkok and other rural area. Nonetheless, there's an effort from government to try to improve this using technology for improving the situation. In 2013, government announced that around 30,000 schools in Thailand will be installed with a good internet connection, so students can learn via internet. But nonetheless, due to rapidly change in government situation in Thailand, this announcement and promise was like suddenly gone and the result was unknown. And also, even though some students have a great connection into internet, the language proficiency, especially English, are not that well enough. So students have a difficulty to study on their own, even though they have an internet connection. So to conclude, we figure out that the main issue with Thailand and with Japan also is that we do not have much of hand-on lab for science. And second, especially in Thailand, we don't have enough of quality teacher. And the consequence that arise from this issue is that the students are not unable to connect the knowledge obtained from classroom to their daily life. For example, in their science class, they learn about electromagnetic wave, but then they have no idea of how this related to their daily life in most cases that we have found. And also, the quality teacher are overloaded with tasks. One teacher in Thailand has to handle all other outside activity and other extracurricular activity and so on with many things. So this is one picture that we found from our research that you can notice that even though there's a lab equipment, whether it's not working or not working, whether it can, there's a lab equipment there, but the teacher normally not really allow the student or conduct the experiment for student to be used.
Okay, second, I introduce Spanish issue and the consequences. First, throughout my experience for my common school teacher, students are too much reliant on ICT devices. If students meet something difficult, they easily research on the internet and something high-tech devices. And next, the students are shortage of doing experiment in science classes, and decrease opportunities for handwriting. So from those issues, the number of students who like science decreases as they become higher grades. This is a conclusion. The convenient tool will lead lack of imagination about scientific issues. And if students don't have difficulties to get answers and experience of exciting emotions when getting answers, they will lose their motivation to think on their own. And if students lose opportunities for handwriting, it will deprive of their chance to understand entire viewpoints.
So, from all of issues that we found, we have proposal for responsible tasks. Like we know that traditional learning, for right now, make invisible for students cannot see the relations with from the knowledge in the classroom and daily life. So we don't use this and make a proposal for they can visible relation between daily life and knowledge from classroom. That is the base course that group one that tell you before, and we apply it to my daddy's school and Ochanovici's school. And base course have three main parts. Is before class, in class, and after class. And in class have separate to 5 sections: introduction, activity, discussion, and conclusion. So I will explain about technology that we use in our class. So in before class, we make students to learning by themselves with flash animation, and they can have knowledge base a little bit about electromagnetic by themselves, and have the quiz, a little quiz after their study by themselves, and after that we have evaluated this flash animation by the Google form, because the Google form can anonymously to answer the questions, so they will can explain their opinion independent. Okay, and next is in class, in the introduction part. Introduction part we use the video from YouTube, because if you use the video and of this, if we use video and technology, we can apply it in many places, in the distant place, because video can download for anywhere, and we use video for introduce our class and electromagnetic, and then we started activity 1 with video 2 to introduction about this experiment about building a motor project, and then after we make them to see how to build the motor in video from YouTube, we describe it and show its demo in the real life at the classroom, and let them do activity 1